I still don't really know what a Hoots is.
Should I explain Gloryhammer lore?
Yeah, can you? I don't really know it.
All right. So, well, it's basically Chris Bowes taking the piss out of places in Scotland.
Okay.
all the proper nouns are just small shitty places in Scotland that he wanted to turn into a fantasy thing.
Oh,
so
that's kind of cool.
The first album, Tales from the Kingdom of Fife, is about the evil wizard Zargothrax, played by Chris Bowes, invading Dundee with his army of undead unicorns, and then the hero Angus MacFife goes on a quest for a hammer of glory and a magical dragon, and he goes into an epic battle alongside the Knights of Crail and the barbarian from Unst, and they defeat Zargothrax and throw him into a pool of frozen ice. Excuse me, liquid ice.
What?
Yes.
Water?
Okay, I won't ask.
It's not
questions.
water.
Go on.
He was frozen in liquid
Okay.
ice.
Okay, I'll accept it. Go on.
Then 1,000 years later, in 1992, the distant future, now the Kingdom of Fife is like a galactic empire of Fife, because of course it is.
In 1992. Okay.
In 1992.
Yeah.
So the Chaos Wizards, the disciples of Zargothrax who were lying in wait, they then free him from his frozen prison from the moon Triton by defeating the Space Knights of Crail. So Gloryhammer's whole shtick is that all of the magic is like actually advanced technology. It's kind of their excuse to blend fantasy and sci-fi tropes into space fantasy, if you will. So then Angus MacFife gathers a bunch of other allies in magical astral hammer nonsense, and they have another epic battle at the end of that, including the immortal barbarian from Unst, who is inspired by Arnold Schwarzenegger. He is the Hootsman. He came from Scotland across to America, was a barbarian, like Conan the Barbarian, and became the Hollywood Hootsman, like a star of movies like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh.
That's who the Hootsman is.
That makes
That's
sense.
what Hoots is.
He's an Arnold Schwarzenegger-inspired character in the story.
Okay. I have a visual now.
He's a barbarian who's also the king of California.
I remember that song. I didn't know what it was about, but I remember that song.
He's portrayed by their bassist in the live shows.
Oh, no. Okay.
So at the end of that battle, or at the end of that album, in the big Apocalypse 1992 song, the evil wizard Zargothrax is trying to unleash an ancient elder god demon from the 18th hell dimension, and there's a big fight, and in order to stop him, the Hootsman is also a cyborg. That's why he's immortal for 1,000 years. He detonates...
Because he's Terminator.
Because of the Terminator, exactly. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, I get it.
So he detonates his nuclear heart, and it causes a big explosion to destroy the Earth. But Zargothrax escapes into a portal into another reality, and he is pursued by Angus MacFife the 13th. And that is where this album picks up.
Okay. Thank you for explaining that to me. I honestly had no idea.
Me neither.
This album, this one, they go beyond the Galactic Terrorvortex, and they end up in like an alternate reality where Zargothrax has basically taken over as the Dark Lord. And Angus MacFife is like, oh shit. So he tries to fight Zargothrax at the start, but it doesn't work. The Knights of Crail have been corrupted and turned evil. They're now the Death Knights of Crail. So Angus MacFife joins up with a resistance who is led by one of the other characters from the albums named Ralathor. He used to be a hermit, and now he's a submarine commander for some reason.
Okay.
And he says in order to get his hammer fixed, his Gloryhammer, his hammer of glory, he needs to go into space and charge it with the sun from this reality. But spaceships haven't been invented yet. So he goes and gets a legendary enchanted jetpack so he can go into space and charge up his Gloryhammer. And then the resistance, known as the Hoots Force, because in this reality, Hoots is worshipped as a god. So the Hoots Force goes and they have the big epic battle with Zargothrax and the Death Knights of Crail. At the end of that, it turns out the mystical Hoots in this reality, he didn't actually die when he detonated himself. The Vortex morphed with the power of the explosion and turned him into the god of this reality. So Hoots goes from a barbarian to a movie star to a cyborg to a god who fights alongside Angus MacFife, and they defeat Zargothrax.
Whoa.
That is the amazing story of Gloryhammer. But the tragic ending,
amazed.
Angus MacFife, spoilers by the way, was stabbed by the knife of evil. And he's going to be turned evil unless he throws himself into a volcano and sacrifices himself.
No.
He dies a hero.
Fuck, dude.
So he dies a hero.
Living
and
it
Hoots
out.
is a god.
R.I.P. Holy crap. So the whole time you were telling that story, I was like reading along the track list, and the track list reads exactly like the story.
Yeah.
See, it makes sense. And
That's crazy.
The crazy thing is, you feel like Chris probably makes this shit up as he goes along, which he kind of does. But
Maybe.
a long time
That's
ago,
well put.
in the distant land of 2015,
Okay.
when Angus McFife, the original track, was reposted yet again on our Power Metal, Chris Bowes was commenting, and he basically explained the story of this album 3.5 years in advance.
Whoa.
That's amazing.
That's
No,
great.
he does not make this shit up as he goes along. Like, all this seems
Yeah.
really
His quote
calculated.
from 2015 was, "Yeah, this timeline is pretty much fucked. Next album takes place in dystopian alternate past reality. Sargathrax arrived through the space portal earlier than Angus and has mastered time travel to become evil overlord of the universe. He also rides a dinosaur with laser eyes. Angus McFife arrives and finds Ralathor, don't ask how he got there, who tells him the fate of this reality. Together, they... actually, I don't think he stuck with this next part. Something about the clones of the Hootsmen. Anyway, Zargathrax has corrupted the Knights of Krail by stabbing Sir Proletius, with the Knife of Evil trademark. Eventually, the force of justice prevails. Angus attacks Zargathrax with an army of good, not undead unicorns, and defeats him finally for all eternity. However, in the chaos of the struggle, Angus is stabbed with the Knife of Evil, and instead of giving in to its power, he fucking kills himself. The end. Album 4 will be called
Wow,
Return to
that's
the Kingdom
gnarly.
of Fife. I've calculated by then it'll be time for the Back to the Roots album. World domination will follow.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Damn.
And at the end of this album, there's like a Morse code for awakening a Zargathrax clone.
Hmm.
So
Say what?
in the next album is going to be a clone of Zargathrax, and he's going to wake up the original Zargathrax back in 1022, and there's going to be two Zargathraxi,
Sargothraxi.
and it's going to be two wizards, two Geddons. There you go.
Two get-ins, two wizards, two keyboards. That's amazing.
So
Okay,
now that all
like,
that's out of the way, let's talk about the fucking album.
holy shit. No, thank you for the context. I am not well versed in Gloryhammer like at all. So that was very
Yeah.
helpful.
No,
Um,
Gloryhammer's got the Lori hammer, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, they've got the lore up in the Hammer of Glory, if you know what I mean.
So as
Which is not a
as
thing.
to the actual music on this album,
Yeah,
I was
music.
pleasantly surprised and very impressed with this. Like, Gloryhammer's, I think, first album was like the most like basic bare bones power metal you could write, but they've really grown since then, and like you can actually hear the guitars doing interesting things. Like Masters of the Galaxy feels influenced by Bal Sagoth. There's like harsher vocals like trading off in the background. The orchestrations have gotten much more impressive.
Yeah, I think Masters of the Galaxy is a really cool like interpretation of symphonic power metal.
Chris had said that he writes like the basic chords and shit, but it's their drummer who gets like super in depth and does the actual orchestrations, which I thought was interesting.
That's really
One
cool.
thing that popped up to me from this album is that all the orchestral parts in many moments of multiple songs have melodic lines from the previous albums to tie it all together.
Yeah, they have. I think it's like character themes, kind of.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool in these multi-album sagas.
Like, it's not just, oh, let's play the orchestral patch and feeling the sound. It's actually very well arranged and with very cool composing decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea of character theme songs when you're actually like creating a concept album like this.
Yeah, I feel like the music is still very led by the instrument or by the orchestrations. The guitar isn't as big a focus as some people might like, but you can definitely hear them putting in more effort with the guitar. You can actually hear the bass on this one. Maybe, Hoots is now a god, so his bass guitar is audible in the Gloryhammer album.
So Hoots is the bass player
Yes.
in the band. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Hoots is the bass player. The guitarist is Sir Proletius, the head of the Death Knights. and the drummer is
Okay.
Ralathor the Hermit, also submarine captain.
Okay, hermit/submarine captain. Got it.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, this absolutely makes sense.
My favorite song on this is Power of the Laser Dragonfire.
Same.
It is a
I think that might be my favorite
Yeah.
too. I'm like, this is straightforward. This is straight up like Halloween.
it's like a Stradivarius
Galnerius.
song, I thought.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
It's
inspired.
the more basic power metal song here. Like it's straightforward
Oh,
power
God.
metal song.
I'm basic.
And it's like there's nothing like all the other songs. If you've been listening to Gloryhammer, like you kind of notice when it's a Gloryhammer song, and this one is like, okay, let's make one straightforward power metal song for everyone, and let's name it almost the same as a very known power metal song, which is Power of the Dragon Flame. Let's just call this Power of the Laser Dragon
You put laser in
Fire.
front of it.
Laser Dragon Flame. Let's do it.
The keyboards
I'm
and
down
like the
with that.
guitar melodies on that song are just fucking great, though.
Mm-hmm.
So props to them on that.
Yeah.
As much as it pains me to say, I think my second favorite song is Hoots Force. Hoots Force is like the
Hoots
universe on
Force.
fire of this album, where it's like the like poppy like uns type song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like I don't know.
It's so fucking catchy.
I didn't like it as much. Like it's not bad, but if I had to compare, Universe of Fire to me is a far greater song than this one.
Hoots Force also, I'm pretty sure, sounds exactly or at least similar to several other songs that Chris Bose has made.
Yeah, I think
it's
people said
Keelhauled and
Keelhauled.
Drink have been mentioned.
I
Fight for the
don't know. I just feel like
kingdom.
I've heard that many
yeah,
times.
I think
Yeah.
those were the songs, the ones that you mentioned, Keelhauled and Drink.
It also gives me Beast in Black vibes at some points.
You know, the one that to me sounded more like Beast in Black was Masters of the Galaxy. That likes the more 80s revival song in this album.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. Like every single song on this album has like a really catchy chorus.
Yeah. And since we're talking about similarities, which one was the other one? One of these, oh man, I don't remember. But there's a song here that is like straight up Eagle Heart by Stratovarius. And I don't remember which one it is now.
Was it Battle for Eternity or maybe Land of the Unicorns? That one's really, I like that one a lot.
Land of the Unicorns. It has some like Mad Rhapsody vibes in the beginning.
Battle for Eternity. I was talking about like Battle for Eternity sounds to me like Stratovarius a lot.
I am the final
Oh yeah, totally.
defender,
Like modern Stradivarius, not like
yeah, kind of.
not like the good Stradivarius, the modern one.
Well,
Oh,
okay. Okay, but yeah.
what? I can't like everything.
Yeah, it's okay. No, it's okay. But yeah, to me, I was listening to that and I was thinking, oh, this could be a Stradivarius song from like straight after Eagle Heart. Not that it has the same melodies
like
or
early
anything.
2000s Stradivarius.
Yeah,
but
I
it has
get
the
it.
same
Yeah,
vibe.
that
It has
sounds
the
like
same
it.
instrumentation and the same, like, okay, let's go to the pre-chorus in this way to ramp up in exactly the same way as Eagle Heart and then drop into the chorus like this into the major first chord.
Yeah, basically, I think this album is a good tribute to like modern power
Yeah.
metal.
Like 2000 and onward power metal.
2000, no, not even like 2008. and onward.
Yeah, that would be more like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So this is what it
Yeah.
is. It's modern power metal, and it just sits nicely with the last decade of power metal.
Yeah, take it or leave it. Modern power metal.
With a
yeah.
fun story and cool artwork.
With an interesting story that I probably will immediately forget and never understand, but I really enjoyed listening to Kyle tell
It could make the live shows make more sense. I was reading an interview with Chris where he says like he's hoping they can like if they had like the actual money, which I doubt they will, but if they could make like a jetpack and like get some ropes for Thomas or
Oh my god, that would be
Angus
so
to fly
interesting.
around on with his jetpack. That'd
Wow.
be sick.
That'd be
yeah.
cool showmanship.
Yeah.
And I think if like the part in the big epic song at the end, which I really like the long song in this one, Fires of Ancient Cosmic Destiny.
That was my second favorite song.
If they and if they play that song live at like the end of their show and at the part where Hoots arrives, if they make like a whole moment out of it, I think that'd be a great idea.
Yeah,
Oh man, this is like a fantasy space opera.
Yeah,
in the making.
basically.
that's what it is.
Fantasy space opera with metal.
Cool. All right. Well, I guess my opinion of Gloryhammer might have been swayed
Ooh, see? There you go.
by this album. Yeah.
That's the power of the hoots right there.
That's the power of the dragon flame
Yeah.
right there. I mean, the laser dragon fire.
It's totally
Sorry.
different.
It's important for me to point out that a lot of people don't like Gloryhammer or just reject it because of how popular it is with the newer fans, and you shouldn't do that. You should listen to it without thinking about what everyone else thinks about it,
Yeah.
and then decide if you enjoy it or not. Because I enjoyed all of their albums. I enjoyed their live show. We saw them at Prog Power last year. They had a lot of technical issues, but it was okay. I think the only thing that I could criticize about this album is that the vocal performance is not great. It sounds like the vocalist is exhausted throughout the album, like he was struggling to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing that I have to comment negatively on it, and it doesn't really. It drags it down, but it doesn't make it unlistenable at all. You can enjoy it anyway.
Maybe they'll like tune it down a few keys live or something.
Not sure if I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure if it's the range or what. But to me, his performance sounds like it could be a bit more not polished, but like he sounds tired. That's what my impression of it. It doesn't match the songs. But besides that,
Like ridiculousness.
I don't know, because since I barely understand the lyrics when I first listen, I have no idea about what they're saying until Kyle explained today.
Yeah, that was great storytelling. This is the first Gloryhammer album or like songs that I listened to that I really actually didn't hate. I think they got better.
Yeah.
Like I now appreciate their like tributes to previous modern power metal bands. I appreciate their songwriting and their composition. So I think this is an album worth checking out, even if you haven't heard Gloryhammer before.
Oh yeah.
You can
Yeah, you
start
can start
here.
This was the longest gap in between albums for them. Maybe that extra time to let it cook.
Yeah, maybe that helped. Yeah. I would give this 3.9 unicorns out of laser dragonfires plus 2.7.
Well, I
Hi.
have no idea what you think about
okay,
it now.
then.
I thought I knew what you thought about it, but now I
Don't
don't.
look ahead. No one will ever know.
Yeah.
What do we recommend? Who do we recommend this to? For fans of power
Fans of
metal?
Rhapsody.
For fans of Rhapsody? Yeah.
EOPM in general.
For fans of like symphonic power metal,
And for
I guess,
everyone,
modern power
for everyone
metal.
that's already a fan of Gloryhammer that loved this album,
You're gonna love this.
we can recommend you
Yeah.
other stuff.
I hope
so.
that you love this.
I think it's probably their strongest album.
Yeah, and if you really like this, and Gloryhammer is everything you know in this great vast land that is power metal, you should check out.
Listen to the Italian power metal
Yeah.
playlist. I think you'll like that.
I think it's kind of ironic that Gloryhammer is like this very ridiculous, over the top thing, but that somehow makes them a more accessible band.
Oh, but that makes sense.
All the nerds who like power metal see like this D&D-ish stuff, and it's like, oh, nice, that's what I want in my music, and there you
Yeah.
go.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me. To me, power metal was always about the fun,
Yeah.
because that's what the music has.
Exactly. This is a fun band.
No
Yeah.
fun allowed.
So don't be an old fart who doesn't like anything.
Like me.
This album has softened Stella's heart. It can do that for you too. Ironically, this is the album about the evil alternate reality, but oh well.
Well, yeah, this is an alternate evil reality in which I didn't hate a Gloryhammer album. So
That's the real terror vortex.
it is what it is.
And before we forget, Andrew told us to tell the audience, if you like this, check out Balsagoth.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Very good point.
Val Sagoth is basically where they got the idea of Gloryhammer, because they have this big, crazy space, powery, mellow, deathy type of music.
It's Chris's muse.
His muse, exactly. Just like look up their song titles and you'll get it right away.
Yeah, their song titles are like a paragraph long. Oh, Balsagoth. All right. Does that wrap up the end of our show?
Excellent.
I
Hey,
guess.
as an example, here is a song called Starfire Burning Upon the Ice-Veiled Throne of Ultima Thule. If that sounds appealing, check out Pal Sagoth.
Okay. That sounds amazing.